Hey y'all, here's my next job that I was at. Um, so I'm trying to think. My last job was Grubhub. So at this point, I had moved back down to Georgia because I was in Chicago while I was at Grubhub, and so by the time I got back down to Georgia, I was kind of like, I wasn't too picky. I wasn't trying to mess around and not having to not have a job for a extended period of time. And so I started working at Publix, um, which was actually down the street from where my mother was living. Anyway, Publix was cool. I don't know if they're still doing it now. And Publix is like a regional grocery store, I'm pretty sure. But I'm not sure if they're still doing it now to where employees would get, I guess, some stock after a while or whatever the case may be, or they get more stock after a while. But Publix was interesting just because, there were people, well, one person really that worked there that went to high school with me. Um, and I also ended up meeting a girl there, a female there that would end up becoming my girlfriend after I left Publix. She's not my girlfriend anymore, but she would be my girlfriend, or she became my girlfriend after I left Publix. Crazy thing about it is, like, we didn't really do a whole lot of talking or flirting while I worked there. Her name's Antoinette, and so that was interesting. I might get to that a little bit later, but anyway, Publix was cool. It's basically your typical grocery store type job where you're merchandising and stocking stuff like that. You got the annoying stuff, the annoying shit where, maybe something you have don't have a place or you just can't find it, so it's taking up all your time when you could be using that time to do something else. Um, I don't know, like it was okay. It was just okay. It seemed like Publix would pay more than what they did, but maybe that's just me, you know. Um, it's definitely in my mind, Publix was a better experience than working at, like, let's say, a Walmart and even a Target. Really, the cool thing with Publix was it paid weekly, so even though the hours, um, the money per hour wasn't like great, it kind of balanced out because you're getting a weekly check. Excuse me, but it kind of balanced out because you were getting a weekly check. And then you had those green uniforms or shirts or whatever. It kind of stood out. I don't know why. Anyway, I mean, like it was doable. I think the most, or I think the thing that stood out the most was they had stock options in the company for employees that stayed there long enough. So I think that was more. I think that's more so the calling card. And like I said again, I don't know if they're still doing that, but they were when I was there. So, but I was there for a little while, and then I ended up leaving. I can't remember why I ended up leaving that job. Um, but actually, the first time I talked to the girl I mentioned earlier that would end up becoming my girlfriend, we had to stock at the end of the day, and then they would have supervisors walk through the aisles and basically tell you if what you stocked was, good enough, if you did a good enough job, which is kind of micromanagey for my taste, which, is something I really can't stand. Like at Dick's Sporting Goods, oh my goodness. The store manager micromanaged so much. Like, that's the main reason why I quit. That my feet hurt. Like, bad. Anyway, so we were stocking, and I was like trying to get her to help me or do half of my aisle, And she was like, nah, I ain't doing that. She was like, she's worried about, her aisle, the aisle she was assigned to, you know, was she was worried that she's more worried about her aisle being up to par, which, that makes sense, you know. But you gotta say something, get the ball rolling, get the person's attention. So that's what I did. Funny thing about it was when I left or when I quit Publix, I didn't tell her nothing like that. I ended up seeing her at the library, which was, well, it's still next to that Publix, but I saw her at that library, and that's where I got her number at. It wasn't even when I was working there, really. So, anyway, y'all, that's all I got for now as far as Publix. It's definitely an interesting job. You should check it out. I'll catch y'all in the next one. All right. Peace out.